Hello everyone, I am Jesse, or 𝐴𝐭𝐴𝐤𝐿. Here with us is basically everyone. It's been a long time since we've had the entire podcast together, but something new. It's also kind of old, I guess. We returned to iTunes. So a lot of people were asking to put the podcast back up in audio form because they can't listen to YouTube while they're on the road. And instead of downloading it, did you know there were people like going to those websites, like those third-party websites, to download the podcast so that they could rip the audio themselves and listen to it?
What?
Or
Shows dedication.
Yeah.
But then we don't get the views, guys.
So there were people going very far out of their way to listen to the podcast. And it just so happened around the same time we were told that we would get a lot more benefits if we treated the podcast as an actual podcast instead of just YouTube videos. So we took the advice, and yeah, now we're back on iTunes and Spotify and probably more places soon, as soon as I end up not being as lazy. But because we are back on iTunes, we need your help getting to 50 reviews on iTunes. So if you look up the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐿𝐴𝐏𝐺𝐬 or �GameOverJesse, you might come across like the Spawnwave podcast or some others that I've been a guest on. But don't click on those. Click on the 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐿𝐴𝐏𝐺𝐬 because we need your help more than they do. And if you leave a nice review for us, we will read it out on the podcast. Every podcast, we're going to be reading 2 or 3 different reviews. Today, since we have sort of a long podcast, we're going to be reading 2. So, starting us off with the podcast review, who's going to be? Ilya?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
Okay, so this review comes from someone named Colin, a group of very hardworking content creators that know everything there is to know about The Legend of Zelda and all other Nintendo IPs. No other creators on the internet come close to the sheer amount of theories and ideas that these group of friends come up with. Stay awesome, guys. We will stay awesome. We'll do our best.
Isn't that just so heartwarming?
Yay.
I know.
Yeah.
Alright, Lucy, do you want to take yours?
I would love to. This one is from Torn in Print. There wasn't enough room in the comment section on YouTube for me to express my gratitude for how awesome it was to watch this interview. I learned so much from Grant about his creative process, his insight into the gaming industry, and just more about his life. As Grant is someone I've always looked up to, this interview was a truly memorable and special experience. Jesse, your questions that you asked were so in-depth and thoughtful, which made the interview even better. Thanks so much for the video, and keep up the great work. Smiley face.
That was, yay! That's from when we interviewed Grant Kirkhope, for those who are like, who's Grant?
Yeah.
And Jesse asked really good questions, and I had the DK rap, so that...
I was listening to that podcast today on the way home because I wasn't there for it because my life is just like that. And oh my gosh, Grant is just such a cool guy.
Very
So
good. Very cool
chill.
guy.
Yeah.
Very modest guy. Very...
Yeah, very humble.
You know.
He definitely
Yeah.
said shit like 100 times, but
He definitely did.
Since the reviews are a lot smaller than I thought they were, Daniel Chubes, do you guys want to read one as well, since they only take like 30 seconds?
Yeah, sure. Well, this
Some
one
of
is
them
from, I don't know what this
claim
username
more,
is.
so might have to look up the actual interview or
Yeah,
comment.
true. Well, here's one from Tevi, who has been a longtime supporter of ours. He writes, fantastic. The group is a great bunch to listen to. They all bring such interesting topics to the forefront and always find a way to make me laugh. Glad I can listen to this whenever I want now. That was a shorter one, but thanks, Tevi, for the 5-star.
is Daniel cutting out for everyone else, or is that just
Oh,
me?
no.
No?
Oh, that's just me.
Oh,
Daniel,
okay, it's just you.
our computers don't like each other. Or is
We
that-
don't.
Do you have
You
one
guys
picked
are
up,
Like,
same
Chubes?
just like ourselves. We just don't like... Since we're apparently not friends.
Do you have one, Chubes? Read it.
Yeah, I can read this one. I don't think anyone read this one. I think it's from... I'm assuming this says Gil. Or it just says GL. I'm not sure. This podcast is the best to catch up on all the gaming news and rumors. Great to listen to when on a drive or when running some errands. The crew is amazing and give you a good laugh when talking about everything Nintendo and gaming.
Oh,
That's so nice.
Oh my god.
they're all so nice.
Bless you to that person.
Yeah, whoever that was.
I don't know.
The ghost who lives in my basement.
Oh,
Nice.
what's his name?
You know, I haven't asked him yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
So,
Is he a friendly ghost?
As far as
Jesse,
I
you
know,
keep trying to change the topic here, but I want to know more about the ghosts.
I'm sorry.
Probably a spider that just sneezed.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
it was a big spider.
How
It
big?
got Gigantamaxed or whatever it is.
Dynam. Gigantamax?
I don't
I
remember.
don't know.
I don't remember what it's called.
So, Jesse, you were going to say.
Yeah, so
Before I was rude.
No, I was the rude one. The next
That's
topic,
okay. He
I
can
thought
get
it
interrupted.
would be
Oh, okay.
fun to talk about some of our predictions from the E3 video and how correct or wrong we were. And then each of us give a crazy prediction 1 year in advance for E3. So,
Gosh.
yeah. So think of a crazy prediction completely in left field for next year's E3. And then, yeah. All right. So,
Hey everyone, it's me again, 𝐓𝐼𝐬𝐢𝐽. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the 𝐵𝐴𝐺𝐽𝐺𝐵 channel, please consider purchasing a 𝐵𝐴𝐺𝐺𝐵 t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/𝐵𝐴𝐺𝐽𝐺𝐵, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/𝐵𝐴𝐺𝐽𝐺𝐵, and much, much more.